The ability to assess this disease is one that has been worked on by many thought leaders for decades now. And so it is something that has extensive thought and expertise into it already. What we've learned over time is that some of these measures, while useful in a research clinic, don't translate to the clinic in terms of the real world experience very well, and also that some of them are not performing as well in trials as we initially thought based on our design work as a community ahead of time. So when you're looking at functional measures, for example, we have a robust level of functional measures for the late ambulatory phase of this disease. So this would be school-aged children who don't have any significant cognitive involvement, who are able to participate and cooperate in a consistent way with tests like how far they walk in 6 minutes, or how fast they can do 10 meters, or how fast they can get up from the ground, how fast they climb stairs. The challenge becomes those who have ADHD or anxiety problems, which is a large portion of the Duchenne population, let alone those who are autistic, which is a good third of patients that really have quite significant cognitive impairment and therefore are much less reliably able to cooperate with these tests. And then also we have issues as we get into the non-ambulatory phase, because things that really focus on your leg strength and your ambulation no longer apply. We need to use upper extremity measures, grip measures, other things that are present in terms of scales, but are a little bit less continuous as variables and more ordinal in terms of having categories of function that people, when they change from one to another, have really lost quite a bit of the fine bits of that function before they hit the next level. And so we continue to strive to come up with more sensitive measures as a community, and also account for those who have difficulty cooperating. That's where things like imaging of the muscle, either through ultrasound or MRI, can be more equalizing if someone's able to tolerate those tests rather than doing the functional assessment, or thinking about novel approaches to biomarkers. And biomarkers have been a challenge in this disease because there's such fluctuation of the ones that we know are abnormal, like the creatine kinase level or the transaminases, AST, ALT. And then other biomarkers just aren't as reliably elevated in everybody who has dystrophinopathy. And therefore, to be able to assess a therapeutic response is hard when the natural history is so heterogeneous in terms of what these biomarkers will do. So I think we know very much as a research community that we as neurologists are so fortunate to work in a large team of people to be able to optimize our outcomes with this disease. And that includes working with team members such as physical and occupational therapists and speech therapists, or sometimes rehabilitation specialists. In terms of the function, that's a great example of collaborators that are so important as evaluators in those trials, because to be able to assess a subtle response in terms of function takes the expertise of an evaluator that really understands the nuances of how things change in somebody living with muscular dystrophy. And when we bring these treatments into the clinic, we need to be responsible about assessing whether they have a response in the clinic. And that again takes the expertise of people who have really been working with individuals from a wide variety of functional levels with the disease and evaluating how that changes over time so that we can appreciate if there's a difference.